and welcome to today's segment of The Power of Money. I'm your host, Michelle Graves, affectionately known for over 40 years now. You all have actually seen me grow old as the Money Lady, and again, at the wonderful age of 73, I can only say that life is great, and I embrace it, I'm rolling with it, and I encourage all of you as well to begin to look at yourselves differently and recognize that the world is rapidly changing. And again, for those of you that are stargazers, you know that we're in the days of the age of Aquarius, where everything is supposed to be multicolored, and it is. Everything's supposed to be do your own thing, and it is. And people are just redefining who they are, what they are, where they're going, and why. And I'm challenged today on our segment on The Power of Money to deal with, again, we talked about in the last show about healthcare and about how you can get into Medicare if you know the rules. And I gave you some of the rules that will govern your ability to get in. And yes, you do want to get in. Why? Because a part of aging, and so many of us, for the record, are in age denial. I went to my 55th class reunion, and I am telling you, it hit me in the face, which is age denial. Okay? You don't want to acknowledge what happens as your body grows old. Even if your mind is sparky and fresh, things do begin to change physiologically that impact on your perception of the world and what role you play in it. For those of you that are aging, I challenge you as we go into 2025 that you imagine yourself a little different and you embrace the possibility of reinventing yourself to do other things. Sometimes reinvention is a basis for you launching into greater and better things. It just requires the courage to say that every day is a fresh day. So I begin today's segment on the subject of change and what is happening in the healthcare industry. I must tell you up front so that there's no confusion. Number one, I've been in this industry for 40 plus years. I've seen a lot, done a lot. But one thing I myself was not prepared for was a depth of change in every industry. Nothing is sacred anymore. Nothing. And when we talk about healthcare, we have to deal with what does that look like? Why are we where we are today? And what can we do to have a better outcome for ourselves and our families? Because I don't care who you are, at the end of the day, nobody's going to love you, care about you, and be concerned about you but your family. You can have associates that you love dearly. You can have friendships that you love dearly. You can work in organizations that you feel are productive and profitable and allow you to self-actualize. Okay? But at the end of the day, when you leave this place called Earth, and I don't know where you're going because I haven't talked to anybody that's come back. But I will tell you this. You will see your family. I have had just a tremendous amount of loss these last couple of weeks from people that I know that have left. Some left graciously and some just left. But the one thing that stood out to me, and I'll say to all of you all openly, was the people that you greet when you do the viewing. Our family, whether it's one person or a ton, your family, the ones that were with you when you were born, and the ones that will be with you probably when you leave. And so I tell people, as we look at what is going on today, I have to again push hard around family accountability. Yeah, we're back to the Waltons, by the way. Oh, you don't think so? Keep living. This 2025 is going to show you some stuff, for real. It is, and I hope you do well. But back to the issue of change in healthcare. Here is the brutal truth. The United States is almost at the bottom of the list of healthcare providers. Hospitalization. We're at the bottom. Our health costs a lot of money, and we don't get the results that we want. In many cases, based on the naive assumption that an abused body will reward you with longevity. That's not the way that cellular biology works. The truth of the matter is, viewers, that if you have lived a negligent, poor life for most of your life, and in America it's easy. I mean, you can get a meal now for $5 at a fast food, drink, fries, and a hamburger. Now, forget the fact that it has no nutritional value. The reality is that the marketing and spin is real. And people are caught up in that syndrome of eating food that does not provide sustenance for your cells. And the poor little things, they hang on the best way they can. Oh, you're killing me, you're killing me, you're killing me. But at some point, you really begin to realize, I'm killing myself. And many times it's too late. So you've got an apparatus over here in the United States of America that was birthed out of a caring spirit, which is we have to be able to provide our workers and our retirees with some type of medical care and hope for the future. Because a sick person does not have a lot of hope. They don't have a lot of hope. That's why you visit them, because you want your presence to give them hope. Now, a lot of them don't even get that. I know for myself, I visit a nursing home facility on Sundays to visit my mother. And of the people in the memory care, there's about 60. And I'm the only person that's ever there. Now, before you say, but there are people may come during the week. It doesn't matter when I come. Nobody's there. Why? Because they have moved on. And that person who is not among the living in that way does not count. And that's very distressful for me, because they are humans. So, people that are abusive, abuse. And that's where we help today. Because I firmly believe, because of the massive numbers of people who are sick, who are nutritionally starving, their bodies are having a famine experience. These people cannot get a reprieve because their bodies are on a downward spiral. Now, what impact does that have on health care? Major. If you know in your younger years that you're heading down a certain path and you are helpless to do anything, lack of education, lack of instruction, bad food, bad soil now. I mean, the corn looks like something emaciated. What is the answer? And I will tell you that reality coupled with profit, which means that we're going to make money on these dead and dying people. Now, I don't want to get into a debate about, well, Michelle, that's so callous. Well, if you think I'm telling a fib, Go to any doctor's office any time of the day, even with their 15-minute mandate for how long they can talk to you. And they're on the phone, on the computer the whole time. What's wrong with you? And you're like, why do I feel that I'm in a strange place? Well, historically, you are. Because farmers didn't go to doctors. They ate good food. They had healthy animals. And they foraged for herbs and for healthy things to keep them alive. They lived on castor oil and Father's John. Oh, you remember Father's John? Because I do. My grandmother, Kentucky woman, stuffed us with Father's John and castor oil, the real gunky, clear stuff. And we dare not get sick because that meant more. And it was like, oh no. But today, people don't have that going on. And they don't protect and build protection for themselves throughout their life as children moving forward. And a lot of it is economic. They can't afford to eat well. They can't afford to take the herbs, etc., that would help them. They can't afford it. They can afford free things. Okay, lots of free things to, quote, help them. But what does this do to the healthcare industry? If you've already got a ton, millions of people sick, whether they know it or not, but they're still walking those steps. If that's what's facing you day in and day out, is that reality, then how does one deal with it? Again, from a capitalist framework of we've got to make sure our stockholders are okay, make their returns, make their money. And by the way, all stockholders are not the super rich, because somehow the middle class thinks they're going to be the super rich, and that's mental illness, because there's no way you're going to think you're going to be 1% of the world population, and at best 5%, and having all this money and all this wealth and assets. There's no way you can think that. I mean, who told you that? What spin did you have about that? Okay? That's not going to happen. Period. Not in this system, which breeds on the ignorance and the wishful thinking of its population. So when you tell people you cannot feed your children like that, or if the child is autistic because of your diet, you cannot say that with any level of integrity. You just can't. So you say, well, what am I supposed to do? And I'm going to say to you, just be aware that everybody knows in the healthcare industry that you are heading to the grave. Well, I'm heading to the grave anyway. True. But how you head to the grave is important. So I can say this openly because being a broker under Medicare as well as group, there is a profound difference in your health requirements when you are working versus when you stop working, so-called retirement. And it is because your body has been beat down and it doesn't have any place to go but out. So you find yourself more susceptible, and you find that going to the doctor is not a thrilling experience because it's never a lot of good news. The report is typically you need to lose weight, you need to exercise, you need to take your supplements, you need to be around people more, you need. You never heard that when you were younger because you were doing it. But now that you have retired in terms of job responsibility, but your body hasn't retired, although it's heading that way, and when it retires, you are not here among the living. right. So why am I focusing on health care? Because it is my belief that the healthcare system is absolutely a Titanic ship. It's sinking fast, and at some point it's just going to go whoosh. So what is the answer? Well, number one, it can't change because there are just too many people getting older and old, moving beyond, 60 to 80, but elderly. And they have all kinds of things with their bodies, breaking down bones, hips, knees, eyesight, ears. All these things are indications of a body that is in decline. And it is imperative that the strength you have left, that you do whatever is required. You don't sit around and look at television. You get out and walk, or you garden, or you do some things, or you interact with people. One of the greatest things I had read was the number of older people that are lonely, because nobody comes to visit them. Everybody stops. Grandkids stop, kids stop. Everybody stops visiting them, but they don't stop living. So this becomes a medical issue because as the brain goes into depression, other things within your body begin to shut down. So you wind up in front of the doctor who is already overworked. And truthfully, for whatever you may think, I think grossly underpaid. Because I know they did not sign up for this. No, 10,000 people a day are retiring in America. Do you know what that looks like? Are you one of those? I'm determined that I'm not retiring. First, because I don't want to. I've seen enough to convince me that's not what I'm going to do. But the other thing is that your level of care is going to be compromised. Not because everybody's out to kill you, but because systems are in place to make sure that only a percentage of you make it through this. The majority are going to expire. This is by design because it enhances profitability. The government pays private carriers a set fee for everybody for our care. Now they can tweak out more money if you need more care. Okay? Whether you like it or not, surgery is eminently profitable for everybody but you, because we all know the body does not like being cut on. It just goes into a freakazoid type of state, and then the healing and all of the things that occur. So what happened this past week with the president of the United Health Care, UHC, was horrific. But in reading all of the responses from all of the people who have experienced neglect and pain by not just this carrier, but many others, has left me to conclude that this thing is moving on down the path, which is how do we enhance our return on investment, our ROI, with a population base that is sick, getting sicker, and then ultimately expire. At what point do we need to be involved actively to maximize our profits? How many surgeries do we need to have to make sure that we are getting a healthy ROI for our stakeholders, our shareholders? That sounds totally gross and macabre, but I'm telling you that when you are part of that system, that's what you're looking at. The Chinese just simplified it. And what they said is, we're going to make $1 billion on body parts. If you come in here sick, we're going to help it. Because we're going to sell your arm and sell your skin. And we're just going to dominate the world market with all of these body parts, which they've been very successful in doing. Now, in other more, quote, sensitive countries, That may not be the plan, but it is happening. And that is, if we can project that these people are not going to get better, if we can project and collect money from the government from them being sick all the time, and we can surgically, if necessary, if not, we'll give them pills, we'll just keep them hanging on until they expire, then is there profit in that model? Well, I'm going to tell you, I think it is. I think it's a lot of profit. And I think if people are not careful about their lives, they will see what that looks like. Children will see what that looks like with their grandparents and their parents. Parents will see what it looks like with their parents. It's a vicious cycle. So, how does health insurance, health care make its money? It makes its money based on contracts that it has with the federal government with Medicare Part C. They're going to get a check every month or thereof for all of these people. Whether they're sick or not, they're going to get a check. The more advanced models get a check for keeping them healthy, like the dedicated oak tree models, but the majority get paid for you being sick. And unfortunately, unless you are willing to take control of your own life and advocate for yourself, and by the way, folks, please don't tell me the information is not out there, because you can Google. Internet flourishes. When I first started with internet, that's 40 years ago, we had Unix when I was in grad school. That was a clunky system using data cards for calculating and regression analysis, all that stuff. But today, you can go right into any provider service and Google what you want. How do I stay healthy? I'm 65. Type that in. See what comes out. You can even, if you're into AI, which I'm not, but it's here, you can even ask AI on ChatGPT, would you please tell me what I need to do with this physical profile right now? And it will spit in less than 60 seconds a book. And the stuff is accurate. Healthy, walking, exercise, healthy air, healthy friendships, healthy living, staying away from toxic people, staying away from toxic environments, embracing the joy of living, being grateful, being mindful. All these things with the end goal of you not having to become a statistic in the health insurance logbook. You don't have to be there. What is cancer? Research it. We all have it. So what causes some to boom and others not? Well, a lot of that has to deal with your eating, controllable. Oh, you control what goes in your mouth. Sugar, too much sugar. Sugar is cancer food. But you won't stop because you don't believe until you get it, and then it's too late. And a host of other things that are fighting daily to take you out of here. And they now have the cooperation of an apparatus that derives profit on this. Do we deny the claim? Do we pay the claim? Do we sit on the fence and watch what happens? Do we continue to kill them quietly with the environment? Or do we become proactive when there's no benefit to us? And I don't care about all the well care and the physical examinations. That's all well and good, and we should be doing that anyway. You get your annual physical. Men, you get your prostate exam. Not because the doctor doesn't like doing it. You don't like having it, but you got problems if you don't. So you suck it up and you do it. Same thing with women and mammograms. Breast cancer has exploded. Better treatment options, but haven't been able to eliminate it. Why? A lot of it's environmental, a lot of it is just a ticking time. I don't know, but I do know it's devastating and it destroys lives. And I know that doctors know in the end it's going to come back and it's going to kill you. So, are they going to be conscientious about your level of care? And is the insurance company going to be diligent to pay for all your treatment regimens when their mindset is, you're heading in this direction? And how much money do we want to invest in you? Now, that's what happens when you put healthcare in a system that emphasizes profits and profitability. And some diseases just aren't profitable. I mean, after chemotherapy, you still get it, or it comes back worse. So, do they continue to pay claims if you submit based upon the protocol you've been given? Or do they deny? I mean, do they deny? And frankly, and it's all going to come out in the wash anyway, you're going to see a huge percentage of claims denied. Well, how's a person going to live? Well, not my problem, yours. And so I'm trying to preemptively talk to you openly about it because I've been in this industry for over 40 years on life insurance, on investments, on risk management, all of this to make sure you get to the end of the road with dignity and grace and honor. And I am beginning to question myself, which is, if I'm committed to making sure you live a good and healthy life through information, through people, and you don't care, should I take the position of so many health carriers, which is, we don't care either. Pay me. That's what you're going to do. And if it costs too much, I'm going to deny the claim because you're going to die anyway. That's a Chinese model. Sorry, China, please don't monitor my phone. But it is. You got 3 billion people. Who cares? I mean, wow, okay. We don't have 3 billion people, but we have enough people where those things are significant. And you, my viewer, my beloved family of viewers, you need to pay attention. You need to stop playing. The 2025 is fast upon us. Have you scheduled for your full comprehensive physical? As a starter, have you looked into other resources for blood work beyond the standard? Life extensions, for example. Have you considered therapy for your brain? I mean mental therapy. Like, aren't you tired of doing the same things and triggering off the same things? Don't you want answers? Don't you want healing? Don't you want to live a reasonably normal life? Well, if you do not advocate for yourself, that is not going to happen, because there's no vested interest in you getting better. And that is the institutional response. I'm not talking about your doctor. I believe doctors go into the industry genuinely caring, but because of the regulations, because of the bureaucracy, because the over vast number of sick people perched at their waiting room just kills them, burns them out. They want to do something different. I have experienced more than a few doctors throwing it out, throwing it in, and going to do international work with helping truly sick people. And they just say, it's not the money. I went into this because I love people. And I believe them because I love people. But what do you do when people don't love people? When you don't love yourself. When you're not adhering to the things that say you love yourself. And that forget Facebook, forget Instagram, forget social media and focus on my own love and care of myself. What? You want me to do what? I'm telling you, when you really understand that the body wants to do everything to live. It sends out warnings, warning, 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 warning. Death imminent, death approaching, sickness imminent, sickness approaching. When the brain begins to send out those messages and signals to your subconscious, which translates to your conscience, and you refuse to do anything, then what kind of an outcome do you expect? If you don't care about outcomes being positive and life enduring, then how do you expect a stranger to care? It's certainly not a health institution, which is thousands of people looking at thousands of cases every single day but Sunday. And some of them are on Sunday too. How do you do that? How do you make people do better? And I'm telling you, that's why we're facing this health crisis. Because I believe that the health care industry has thrown in the towel. They're going to focus on what's going to make them money and what's not. And if your condition is so bad and the outcome is so predictable, then I believe they probably won't pay the claim. Why? Because they deal with thousands of people every day. And they cannot offer money to cure your condition when it is essentially incurable. Okay? So I say this with absolute and total honesty about what we're looking at. And I say to everyone, particularly those of you that are in the low income category, expect less service. Expect fewer gimmies. Expect them to discontinue the food card. Oh yeah. Why? Because it's too expensive. You can get food at the free bank or whatever. And I'm telling you, they're having these kind of conversations right now, because that is what happens when money drives health. It's never going to be a positive outcome. It just isn't. And I have to talk to you all openly, because we are seeing it. We're seeing people just beside themselves, I spent 2 months on the road. Viewers, it almost killed me. Driving all over the country, talking to people, presentations. And the number of people that told me, I just don't care anymore. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And I'm like, we all are going to die. That is a given. But wouldn't you like to at least have some control over how you die? And when you die, and even where you die. If you know these things and you choose not to do better, then how can you possibly be angry if nobody else cares as much? In Europe, of course, their health system is more civilized. Europe is more civilized. They take vacations during the summer, real vacations. They go and visit. They enjoy simple things. I'm not validating, I'm just telling you. That's their life. Health for them is a must. You look at Norway and Sweden and Finland and how they deal with quality of life issues. I mean, really? And then you come to our country where everybody is very large from obesity and frantically taking pills to fight off the fat, and not understanding that while you're doing that, you are destroying your heart, which is responsible for making sure, next to the lungs, that you live. How does that work? Oh, because I just have to get this weight off. I just have to. Oh my God, I'm sexy wexy. What? The path is self-destruction. Okay? And so I get it. I know why people are doing it. It's human nature. But I'm saying to you that there's another conversation going on that you may not have looked at objectively and openly, that is real. That is so real, it's looking you in your face. And you're trying to figure out why. Why did this happen? Why? Why not? Why not? Like I said, if you don't care, and it's your body and your life and your story, how could you possibly think that institutions are going to care? And you say, but I pay them premiums. Your $200 a month, which in private sector you may be paying, is not enough to keep you alive. It's not enough. They want more. Right. So, my admonition to you, my humble admonition is that as you go into 2025, can we do a reset? And can you begin to examine the values that propelled you into a way of life that is committed to your self-destruction? Can we pivot back and look at this for our own lives? When did this happen and why? And why did it continue? What was the reinforcing behavior that kept me doing this to myself? And if you're objective, and if you can stop crying for a minute, stop crying, stop. And look in the mirror and say to yourself, in 2025, I am taking control of my life. In 2025, I am taking control of my health care. I will commit to do better. I'm not going to make no New Year's resolution because that's garbage. But I'm telling my cells, that's what's running you inside of you, that I have been abusive, that this is domestic warfare inside of me, and that I will not do this any longer. It's not worth it. I need to live and be a valuable person in our society. We need healthy, happy, alive people for the next generation. We don't need to leave our kids and grandkids behind looking at us, scratching their head, trying to figure out what in the heck happened here. They got all the material goods, all the swagger, all the bling bling, but they're sick. And their tattoos are starting to look weird. Tattoos look best on nice, chubby skin. Not skin that's emaciated. It looks really, really troubling. So, I say all this to say to you openly and truthfully that it's on you. 2025 is going to be on you. You're going to see a radical drop in a lot of things next year. Food prices are definitely headed up because the tariff is going to do what it's supposed to do, which is impact on supply. It doesn't impact on demand, it impacts on supply. So your food prices are going to be higher, which means that you're going to have to learn to grow your own food, even if it's in a pot on your balcony. You're going to have to learn the hard way that you don't need to eat everything to be healthy. You're going to experience what other people all over the world are experiencing right now. That's their daily routine. They try to find food. They try to work it out. And it's sorrowful for me to sit here on this public venue called television with a wonderful station, DATV, the best, period. But it does not do me good to know that many of you will say, oh my God, I just don't want to hear it. I'm going, yes, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it because your families need to be able to say you're alive and healthy. And your grandkids, and even your great-grandkids. They need to know that you have chosen to live. Not merely to exist or to go through the motions, but that you have put your foot down on yourself. and that you have made the conscious, deliberate decision that I will not be dictated by a healthcare system that does not care anything about me and views me as a disposable commodity. And oh, by the way, when you say disposable, better have insurance. Oh yeah, because they're not going to bury you. Well, I ain't got benefit. No, they're not going to bury you. So, proper response for proper situation. And here is my proper response for you. Like I said, number one, I'm going to go to the mirror. I'm going to look at myself closely. I'm going to look at the age lines. I'm going to look at the condition of my teeth. I'm going to look at my hair if I have any. I'm going to look at my eyes. Can I see? Can I hear? I'm going to start with the basic, simple things. Okay? I'm going to start there. And then we're going to move forward from there. What's missing? What's absent? And did I cause it? And while aging is a natural outcome of the body getting older, sickness is not. There are people all over the world that eat much less than us and are not looking like we look. Okay? And it is because we have decentralized our lives into the hands of other people. And then we complain because they don't love us. They don't seem to be interested in me. Well, they have 100 other patients. A doctor showed me his book for one day, and he had seen from 6 in the morning till 6 that evening, almost 100 people. Now you tell me if he was lucid or with it after patient number 20. And I will say to you, I don't think so. He's just trying to figure out how to get through this and get out of here. And that's why so many doctors have burnout. That's why you're going to be using telehealth, which is looking at a computer at the doctor, because they don't have enough. Why? Because they are tired. They're tired of the rules and the rigors of the insurance carrier. Well, one day he's up, one day he's down. One day he's in, one day he's out. Don't believe me? Go to any facility and see. Oh my God. See the number of people that have been cut off because they've extended their days and haven't gotten any better. Why haven't they gotten any better? Because they have not lived the life that says they want to live. And so they haven't gotten any better. So you send them home or you send them to a nursing home. And if you send them to a nursing home, they better have some money. Because if they don't have any money, they're not going to be there but a minute. If they do have money, they'll be there till their money's spent. And if they have no money from day one, they're going to go on Medicaid, because Medicaid is in place to help the poor. But I truly don't believe Medicaid is going to be around that much longer, because, hey, they don't have any money. Our ROI, return on investment, is compromised with poor people. Yeah. They can't pay us. And the federal government can only pay so much. That's where we are. That's the sad truth. So what is your action? I just told you, look in the mirror and do the evaluation, and then make some decisions. Not resolutions, just decisions. Write it down, put it on a refrigerator. I'm going to do this for me. I'm not doing this for anybody but me. Okay? I'm going to get my teeth taken care of for me, because bacteria causes everything, particularly bacteria that incubates in my mouth. I'm going to do that for me. I'm going to get a complete physical for me. I'm going to do the things that I must do for me. I'm going to tell my family how much I love and appreciate them, because I am here and I have come into my right mind. Because clearly I wasn't in my right mind. Because if I was in my right mind, I wouldn't be doing the things I do. I will dial back on alcohol consumption, because alcohol is nothing but sugar, and sugar over time will trigger diabetes, which will definitely take you out of here. If not amputate all your working parts, there's a consequence. And this is all I'm saying to all of you. Were the healthcare industry, are they wrong in dismissing you as a number and letting you go your way without their help? Are they wrong? Or are they just doing business the way that we do business in America? Which is, if you're not bringing nothing, then you taking something. And we can't make money with you always on the taker end. That's why I'm telling you, the food cards are definitely going to be eliminated. I had people fighting over food cards. And I'm saying to them, you are fighting over food cards and you're going into the store and buying junk food? Okay, it's America. Meet your maker. For real. So I leave these words of encouragement as we go into 2025. The healthcare industry is going to continue to have major problems because too many of us sick. And there's no answers, and they don't want to pay for it. Okay? They just want you to die. That's callous, but that is the truth. If they be honest, I think people could deal with honesty rather than this feigned, oh, we really love you, we really care for you, I'm like, would you turn off the marketing machine? Can you just tell us that we want healthy living people? But your health care, oh, that's a screensaver. You believe that? Ha! Wrong. We want healthy, vibrant, alive people that we don't have to pay out much on. That's what we want. And if you don't fit that model, yeah, well, I don't know what to say. Have a nice day. I'm so tired of that. Oh, no worries, no problems. Have a nice day. I'm like, who coined that? What emoji came up with that one? Have a nice day. I say have any day you want because that's the day you're going to get in this system right now. So as we watch the unfolding debacle with United Healthcare, and I'm here to tell you, they're all shaky right now. Not just them. They all do it. They're all shaky. Okay? They're all shaky. So don't exempt one over the other. Take a broad view and conclude, as I have, in the industry. I'm like, maybe people will wake up and use their ears to listen to truth rather than to podcasts. Maybe. Maybe we don't have to concern ourselves about what is in front of us because we're aware and we're handling it accordingly. I know for myself, it's not been a rude awakening. It's been more of a dulling sensation because, viewers, I've talked about this for years. I talked about this when an avid vegetarian, Miss Ruby, was on, and she talked about food addiction 8 years ago. She's gone on. She just died of natural causes. She was old. She died. And I think about her and what she said. And those interviews are still running on YouTube. They're still available. They are. So you want to listen to what she had to say. She's long gone, but she didn't die in no pain. She just died and went on. As I want to. If my time comes, I don't want to be in a hospital with tubes all in my head and my neck trying to keep me alive. I want to be able to say I have lived a wonderful, marvelous life. I have kissed babies, shaken hands, loved people, forgave people, honored people, loved my God. And it's time to go and then go. Okay? Just go. Something better on the other side, I assure you. So, with that in mind, and having left that with you, I want to wish every last one of you, whether you see this show now or at another time, I want to wish you an amazing, powerful 2025. Don't get distracted on things that don't impact on you. And most politics does not impact on you directly, Make sure that you have adequate reserves financial. Make sure that you are not skimpy on love and kisses. Please don't be skimpy. Give it abundantly without reserve. And know at the end of the day that the only person responsible for your self-care is you, not the healthcare industry. It's you. And on that note, have a wonderful and blessed day. And I thank you all for having rode my train in 2024. It's been a pleasure and a joy. And I thank you, and God bless you so much. Bye-bye.